this loan processor would not answer any of their phone calls. They wouldn't answer any of my phone calls. They wouldn't answer any of our emails. They don't have the best history of having a quality lending program. So their cash to close went up $4,000 at the week of closing because the lender took so long to get back to us to let us know this information. They didn't even have the time to like save up the money.
All right. Welcome back to More FLA Homes. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian Clay. Alongside me is one of our real estate experts on the team, the Knockout King. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great, bro. How about yourself?
I am doing excellent. This one right here is, everybody's going to love it. You want to know why? Because we're giving you the real on what happened. So Chris is going to talk about how we got to this point, because you actually saved this family a bunch of money. But then the reality of like what the freaking process is like what these builders can do to you throughout the process. Sometimes it's like unimaginable. Chris, take them home.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we just helped the family close last week with this beautiful home that is under construction, as you can see here, but we'll show you the finished product. This family made one decision. They decided to watch our videos, shoot us a text, shoot us an email. Hey, we need you guys. You know, we're trying to buy our first home. And that one decision that they made, like, we saved them so much money. We saved them so much headaches. And when your real estate agent is growing gray hairs because the builder is trying to screw you and they're trying to stress me out, I can't even imagine how my clients felt, how our clients felt. And dude, like this one was getting to that point of the closing table was truly a celebration. Like,
Listen, it happens that way all of the time. Like it's never as smooth as it seems. It could be smooth if you have money that you want to throw at the builder. You just like, hey, just leave me alone. Here goes more money, right? Like it could be smooth, but if you're somebody that's like most people, like you need to save money, like you're in it to win, it could be a little bit of a headache. But before we get to all of that, take them to how we got to this point here, because they weren't even looking at this freaking community to start with, right?
Absolutely. So our family, they reached out to us. You know, they were working with another real estate agent. You know, a friend of a friend. You know, an Aunt Susan.
Aunt Susan.
And they weren't getting the customer service that they deserve. And these were first time home buyers. They were buying their first home, and there was so much that they wanted. They were so interested in to learn about. And you know, the friend of a friend just wasn't giving them the service that they deserved. And they were frustrated because you know they were seeing homes with this other real estate agent, and the other real estate agent was just chiming in and giving too much of their perspective and not really taking into consideration their wants and needs. So things weren't working out. So they made sure that they reached out to us and they seen our videos and they wanted to lean on us to help them purchase their first home. So we just wanted to make sure that they weren't working with that other real estate agent anymore prior to hiring us. So as soon as we officially became their real estate team, the More Philly Homes team, man, it was a process that was enjoyable in the beginning, and then towards the end was difficult. And our clients leaned on us like insane, but they wanted a specific home in a community that they knew, in an area that they knew, and what was important for them was proximity to work. And when we spoke with them, they realized that the home that they really wanted just wouldn't be within their budget. So they were actually looking at settling on a smaller home, and having a conversation with them, I recommended other options because they can get the same home in a different community. And when we looked at the distance to work, it was the same distance to work. So, and from one community to another, same home, same builder, the price point difference was about $100,000 on the home that they really wanted. So all of a sudden, the home that they really wanted was a potential fit. So we arranged for us to go out and take a look at the community to make sure that they'd be happy with it. And we toured the community, and they absolutely loved the conservation views that this community had. So,
But and real quick, the other community, no conservation views, or at least they were settling for like what we like to call like a level 1 lot, where there wasn't anything special about the lot, right?
exactly. Yeah, there was no conservation views. It was just like roads behind. Like the prestige lots were like roads behind them, and those lots were way more expensive
Sure.
than the alternative that we presented for them. So it was just like it was a no brainer. Once our family seen the area, they seen that it was equidistant to work, so it could work. So that's when we went down the journey of our family wanted to do a to be build. They wanted to go through the process of building a home and enjoy the 6 to 8 month journey. And we built a home from the ground up with the community that we recommended to them. And after they implemented all that they wanted, because when a family does, like, you're probably watching this video and like you're one of two clienteles. We have a ton of clients that are like, hey, I want to take advantage of a quick move-in home. And when you take advantage of a quick move-in home that's closing within 30 to 45 days, you're going to get a phenomenal deal through our build method with unlocking incentives. Sometimes, more times than not, you're going to make some compromises on the home. It could be
Flooring, flooring
flooring,
color.
right? Yeah,
Like
flooring
you,
and color.
Chris, you just bought a home last week, right? And the moment Chris
Yes.
moved in, he changed the flooring color. But that was a compromise because you got a really good deal on it, right?
Yeah. That's the compromise. And then we also have families that are watching this video. They're going through the process of building a home. And when you build a home, it's usually a family that's their second or third home. And it's like, you know what? I'm not making any compromises this time around. I want to build a home exactly how I want it. I want the gourmet kitchen. I want the LVP flooring. I want the conservation view because I'm going to pick the home site
Mm-hmm.
that my home's going to be built on. Like I'm going to get all everything. And in this instance, our family really wanted to do the to be build from the jump, and a conservation view, a beautiful home site was important for them. Also, the LVP flooring and the gourmet kitchen. So when we built the home, I told them build it exactly how you want it because that's what people do when they do a to be build.
Now, when
And
you're
when they
talking about building the home for everybody out there, right? You're talking about sitting in the sales office saying, okay, cool, let's select this lot, let's select this floor plan. Here's the base price. What structural options you want? That's what you're talking about. So it's not fully built, but on paper, you're just trying to see what it looks like, how much the price point is.
correct,
Perfect.
absolutely. And we got to a turnkey price, and the turnkey price was from an overall purchase perspective within their budget. But when you do a to be build, the builder can't guarantee the interest rate
Yeah.
because building a home, 6 to 8 months, they don't know what the interest rates are going to be. So families that are currently shopping, that they're online looking at many different communities and they're seeing a 4.99 interest rate, a 3.99 interest rate, like those aren't on quick moving homes. So
Yeah.
if you're building from the ground up, you can't take advantage of that. And it's just because for the builders, it costs too much money for them to buy the rate down for 6, 8 months. I notified our family. I was like, hey, if we go through the to be build process, we got to take a look at what market rate is. Let's look at the worst case scenario of what the interest rate is. And when we looked at those monthly payments, it was above budget. I looked at the wife and I was like, hey, like what do you want to do? And she's like, you know what? I want to get the home that I want from a structural standpoint, and then I can kind of like do upgrades on a year to year basis.
Mm-hmm.
So they started stripping away from the home. One of the first compromises that she made was she wanted a conservation view. She realized she couldn't get a conservation view, so she chose a standard lot with rear neighbors, and that reduced her price significantly. And then she took away the gourmet kitchen, and she just figured, you know what, maybe in the future we can do that. And then she also took away the the spindles on the stairway going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And with those three things alongside the lot as well as the flooring, she was able to get
The payment
the
that she
monthly
wanted.
payment.
Yeah.
Exactly. The
But those
monthly
are
payment
those
she
are
wanted.
to me, like for everybody out there, like those are compromises that I probably wouldn't recommend. Like upgrading a gourmet kitchen, right, on your own is a bigger task than you may think. The flooring,
Mhm.
not so much, right? You can hire a flooring company, right? You can kind
Yeah.
of work on the rooms first if you have carpet in the rooms. The spindles I've seen people do aftermarket. I have never seen any of our level 1, level 2 clients say in a year I'm going to put the gourmet kitchen in and do it.
Yeah.
I've never seen them do
Yeah.
it. They always just never do it, right? So when you compromise the gourmet kitchen or structural options, those are things that I'm like, hey, if you absolutely can't live without it, like get those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So once she got to the monthly payment that she wanted to be at, I notified our sales rep. I was like, "Can you print this build process?" Because we built the home on the computer, and then they printed it. I took our clients to the other model home, and I just asked them to talk it amongst themselves. Because if you're doing a to be build process, most clients that do to be build processes don't make compromises on the way they structure the home, and you guys are making a lot of compromises.
Mm-hmm.
So they talked that amongst themselves, and then I excused myself and I went to speak with our sales rep from this community, and I talked to him. I was like, "Look, this just ain't going to work for them. I don't think this is going to work for them because I think it's too much like that they're giving away."
Yeah.
So I asked them, I was like, "Can you take a look at your inventory sheet and go out in 90 days and see if there's anything that's current, if this home, the home that they want, is currently under construction?" Because some of these homes are getting specced out, pre-designed, as we say. And he found a home, and we went into the details of the home, and I found that it had the LVP flooring. I found that it was on a beautiful conservation lot.
I'm
I
looking at
found that it had
spindles right here.
yep, it
I
got the
saw the
spindles
gourmet
that you wanted.
kitchen. I saw the gourmet kitchen. So this was a
Yes.
home that was already being built at the time, right?
Yes, it
Okay.
was already being built at the time, and it was pre-designed to everything that our client wanted. Every
So
single
so
thing
that
that she
list
was
of
checking
compromise
out.
that you gave us that they were taking off, this home had on there.
Yes, it
Okay,
had
love it.
everything that it had every single thing that she wanted. Also, it even had the warm tone LVP that she wanted. So, but what was most important was the conservation view.
Yeah,
The conservation, like, we talk a lot about non-duplicatable lots. We talk about a lot about like what you can't change post closing. Like you can't change where the home is sitting,
absolutely.
and that view is like second to none. It's beautiful. And I really believe that we were able to secure our family a phenomenal lot in this community. And when I spoke with our sales rep, I was like, do me a favor, print out everything that this home has. I want to take it over to them and have a conversation with them to see if this is a potential fit. Because once you go from a to be build to taking advantage of a quick move in inventory that's ready within 90 days, I don't know if our family was prepared for that. I don't know if they were
Exactly.
prepared to move in 3 months.
So let me
So,
ask you this, though, or let me just say this for everybody out there. Sometimes the compromise is time, right? A lot of times the compromise is time. But like if you're willing to get the home that you absolutely want with a great deal, are you able to move in there a few months early, right? I don't know what a few months is.
yeah.
That's on your basis, but in our family's time, you said about 3 months, 3 to 6 months.
But then, yeah, this home was going to be ready within like 90 days
Okay,
from the point of contract. So I also asked our preferred sales rep if this can qualify for any promotional interest rates, and it just fit the window based on its estimated closing date that we can actually secure our family a 4.75 interest rate and up to $20,000 in closing costs, which we negotiated up to 25,000 at point of contract for them to reduce their cash to close. So to be able to get those two things and get them the home that they really wanted,
bruh.
to avoid for them to have to do all the structural upgrades post closing, it saved our family hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
So I mean, now was okay, like let me have a talk with my family and see if this is a possibility for them. So I went to the model home, and prior to even having a conversation with them, they had already came to an agreement that they were going to go ahead and move forward with the to be build process and making all the concessions we just talked about sooner. And I talked to them. I was like, look, there's another option. They are building the home that you want exactly how you want it with every single selection that you want. And it's going to be ready within 90 days. And I can get you guys a 4.75 interest rate versus market rate with a to be build. That's going to save you hundreds of $1,000s on interest. And they're like, wait, like, can we check this home site? I took them to the home and they fell in love with it. It had
How
everything
could
they
you
wanted.
not? How could you not? I mean, so they're initially bummed out because of the compromises they have to make. I get it, right? Like, okay, let's extract some of those expensive things in the home that we just built. We just built it to our needs. Now we're trying to extract those things. But then you
Mhm.
you come to this home, everything that you extracted from the old home is there. Plus you get the conservation view. And then you get the rate. So the rate on the home that they built on paper was market rate, probably near the sevens. And you're saying you got them a
Correct.
4.75, or that's what they're marking. That's a no brainer to me, a hundred
Yeah.
percent no brainer. So what was their thoughts when they saw it?
Oh man, they were in love with it. And I told them, I was like, look, now let's have the conversation if this is realistic for you guys. Like you guys would have to move up your timeline about 2 months. Can you do that? And they had to talk amongst themselves. Like we huddled up, as we say on many of our videos, we're talking amongst ourselves to see if this can work. The fact that I was able to reduce their cash to close about $5,000 at point of contract
Yeah,
positioned them to where, you know what, Chris, we're going to speed up the timeline by working more overtime. And you know what? The home is scheduled to close during the same month that their kids' birthdays are. But you know what? The compromise is going to be that they can choose their bedrooms versus
bro. Talk about a
getting them.
sacrifice. Talk about a sacrifice, man. I wonder
Yeah,
if they let them choose like any of the bedrooms. I wonder if they're like the
yeah.
primary is off limits, but any other bed. Because if not, I'd have been like this one, ma. Let me get this one right here.
I want the I
I
want
want
the
the
biggest
ensuite
room.
right there, ma. Thank you. Happy birthday. I love you. No, I mean that's cool. I mean, talk about sacrifices, but like this is the reality of it for a lot of people, right? The draw to new construction, especially like nowadays, is you get 4.75 rates, right? A lot of these builders are offering a lot of concessions. We like to negotiate for a lot more of that stuff, plus the warranties and all of that good stuff. But when you go to build the home, if you don't really get all of those things and you're making these compromises, it kind of gets like, blah, like, why am I doing this, right? And to,
Yeah.
you were saying when you found the home and you were going to go talk to them, in their mind, they already made up their mind. I wonder how many people make those compromises and just go through with it because they don't have somebody turning those stones over.
Like it was just a big win. It was very satisfying. It was satisfying to the point that after we were done helping our family go into contract, um, I asked them. I was like, "Did you guys even think that this was even a possibility, like to get the home you wanted, design exactly how you want it, and to get it under your monthly budget before reaching out to us.
Of
And they
course.
were just, no, we
Yeah.
didn't even think this was possible. We were going to settle on a smaller home, and the monthly payment was going to be higher at
That's
another community.
crazy. But
And
equidistant to the work, right? Which was the
yeah,
original driver. Like I need to be X amount of minutes from work and they're
mhm,
equidistant to work. But I know there's another page to the
yeah,
story, as there always is, people, right? Like going through, these are first time home buyers, by the way, right? So like every part of the process, they have questions about this kind of stuff. It's very
yeah.
common for people. You don't understand what's going on. You gotta have, we like to say, Aunt Susan, somebody on your side. Would love for it to be us. Email us, team@morefla.com. But take them through what happened.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're buying your first home, it's natural to have a lot of questions, and you deserve to have someone that's on standby that's available to answer those questions for you or secure the answers for you. Getting them under contract, helping our family save a ton of money, getting the right home site, that's dandy and all, right? But if you're watching this video, you're probably like, I hope that you're going through a smooth experience. But this builder, they make a quality home, but unfortunately, they don't have the best history of having a quality lending program that is available to answer your questions and to help guide you through the process. And our buyers were performing. And what I mean by performing as a buyer is, as soon as you go under contract, most builders within those 3-4 days of going under contract, they require you to send in all your documents for the lender, like any kind of like stipulations, any stipulations that you have, like send it all in. And they went ahead and they did all that. They proactively got all their paperwork in within a week of contract. And it's just been, they have a loan processor that was assigned to them. And this loan processor would not answer any of their phone calls. They wouldn't answer any of my phone calls. They wouldn't answer any of our emails. And they were just throughout the whole process. They would, when they would answer back, they would email us back
A day
Friday at
before
5
closing.
p.m. No, 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 not even. On a weekly basis, they will email us back like Friday at 5 p.m. and they're off on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we don't hear from them for another week. And it was so frustrating because our family, they sent in everything. And then they kept getting notifications that they need to provide more documentation that they've already provided.
Yeah.
So, and it was a matter of like, okay, like I've already provided this. You continue to ask for this same things over and over again.
Right. We don't
Like,
know if
what's up?
this is like, do you are you accidentally asking for the new things again? Do we need to
Mhm.
send them in? Why do we need to send them in? And then you don't get anything until Friday at 5 p.m. when it's time to get off, right? Like
Yep.
the best way for me to explain to everybody out there who you are to the builder, who you are to the lender, who you are to the construction. Like you are a number. I'm sorry to say that to you. Like to us, you're not. Like we love you to death, right? But like you're a number, right? They have
Mhm.
files that they're going through and they're just trying to get through. Even in their mind, if they know they're going to get it done, they don't realize the stress they're putting on
Yes.
people that don't understand that, right?
Mhm.
So you got to have somebody that you can lean into. In this case, Chris is leaning, obviously trying to get the stones turned over. But how did that go about? You reached out to somebody that actually did respond back?
Yes, I got a hold of the boss of the loan processor, and I was like, "Hey, look, our family is not getting the communication. We're just not getting any communication. We're not being notified of what is necessary in order to move this process along. We don't, we don't know if we're doing, everything we're supposed to be doing, or if there's anything that you need us to do."
Sure.
So this person took over our file, like on the interim, and her communication was great with lending companies. There's a department called the underwriting department. And I mean, Christian, you said it. They're like non-biased to the process. Like,
Yeah,
they
they're
will
they're
ask
they're the
for.
comb to the process, right? Like they want to
Mhm.
fine comb and just make sure, like that car that you bought in 2017, we saw that you put down $5,000 cash. Where did that $5,000? Like they are going to nitpick the
Oh,
process, and so
yep.
the underwriters, you don't really talk to them. You're supposed to just talk to your processor, and sometimes the processor acts like they don't know what's going on either, right? They're just like, I don't
Mhm.
know, my
Yeah.
underwriter's saying to send this in, so send it in. And you're like, what the?
Yes. So this underwriting department continued to communicate with our clients via the loan processor. They would just notify the loan processor, and the loan processor would tell us like, "Hey, well, you need to upload this again. You need to send this in again." And it's frustrating because like, what do you mean you need to know about why I don't know, missed a car payment 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Because I was like in my early 20s and just acting like a knucklehead. Like, leave me alone. Like, I don't
sure.
have documentation of that stuff.
But for
But
everybody out there, before you keep pressing on that, that's the reality of how it is, right? You are going
Mhm.
to be asked those types of questions. Typically, the tougher it is to get you qualified, the more stuff you're going to have to turn in, and the conditions you're going to have to meet for the underwriting process. So I'm here to tell you that it's going to be like that, people. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. And there was many instances that our family got frustrated, and rightfully so, but they continued to just lean on us. And we just here to guide them through the process because we know this is just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So we just kept future pacing them and helping them understand, like, hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the point of closing. You know, just we're here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we get to the week of closing and we're about a week away from closing, and our client's file is still not out of underwriting. And the other added layer of stress that I'm sure many of you have probably experienced in the past if you purchase real estate is if you're buying your first home, you're currently renting, right? And most complexes or maybe a landlord, they require like a 60-day notice. So our family, they put in their 60-day notice, and on the week of closing, they still don't know if they're going to close. And our loan processor is saying, yeah, it's still in underwriting, which is normal, but it's kind of like that added layer of stress. Like, hey, do I need to extend my lease? Do I need to go month to month?
Right.
Do I need to, like, there's this balance of, like, many people try to say, like, I don't have any place to go. So we really just, this was the one thing that had me fuming on the week of closing. Our loan processor reaches out to us and tells us, hey, the cost of the rate buy down has gone up for X, Y, and Z, and we need you guys to come in with $4,000 more in to the table. So their cash to close went up $4,000 at the week of closing. And our family reached out to us because they're like, hey, Chris, like, they raised the cost to close. Like, this is very upsetting
Yeah.
because we thought we were going to get a 4.75 interest rate, and now we have to take a 4.99 interest rate because the builder and the lender, well, because the lender took so long to get back to us to let us know this information. They didn't even have the time to, like, save up the money. Like,
Yeah.
they vented to me like, Chris, we could have continued to work some overtime if we knew that this may have been a possibility. So I told our buyers, I was like, this isn't right, because, like, as a buyer, you've been performing, you're providing all your documentation, and then they wait to the last minute, the week of closing, for them to raise your cash to close $4,000. Like, no way. So I went,
Let's go. Listen, we're gonna tell you how we solve that. But once
yeah,
again, reiterating, this is the reality for you guys. Like, this could happen to you guys, right? And this is how they do it. I
yeah,
mean, if you look on advertisements and you see we are going to give you a 4.5 interest rate and we're going to give you $20,000 in flex cash, sometimes they don't say on that advertisement that they're going to take the $20,000 flex cash and throw it at the interest rate, and so your cash to close might be a little off. That's a different story than what we're talking about right here, but it goes down the same funnel of, like, they're not going to be upfront and honest with you until it comes close to the end, right? And who consistently are you going to lean on? Like, when this family didn't know where they were going to live, they leaned on Chris. When this family
yeah,
runs into issues with the lender, they lean on Chris, right? So, like,
yeah,
having somebody on your side that you can lean on for every circumstance, I think, is extremely important. I promise you this, as much as we love with our rep at this community here as one of our preferred sales reps, you can't always lean on them to do the job for you, right? Like, lean on
yeah,
somebody that's going to take good care of you. But go ahead, $4,000 more dollars. Obviously, our people
yeah.
are
I mean,
frustrated. I would be frustrated too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was meaning to say, like, how would you feel when you're excited to buy your first house and all of a sudden they say you got to come with $4,000 more to the closing table? I mean, like, how would you feel? Like,
Like I said in the beginning, you can either make it easy by just giving the $4,000 up,
mhm,
or, if you're somebody that needs the $4,000, most of us do. Like, bro, like, that'd be so frustrating, extremely. So
yeah,
what'd you do? What'd you do, bro? Like, I
yeah,
saw the smile on your face in the beginning, like you solved some sort of problem. So you got
yeah,
them the
yeah,
four
yeah,
grand, or
for
what's up?
sure. Yeah, so I told our people, I was like, look, man, like, don't settle for that. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, let me contact the preferred sales rep, and then let me also contact the boss of the loan processing team and say, hey, like, this ain't right. Like, our buyers have been performing, they've been proactive, and you guys have waited to the last minute for this. So, like, to spend an additional $4,000 and to keep the rate at the 4.75 interest rate is just, it just ain't right. And I leaned hard onto the loan processor, who was good with communication, and she got back to me and she's like, Chris, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna waive. We're gonna do an additional $1,700 lender credit to reduce their cash to close. So the bank is gonna be chipping in, where they're gonna cover $1,700 of that cost. And then I'm leaning on the sales rep, our preferred sales rep, and he understands, like, yeah, this is messed up. And instead of getting more closing cost assistance, we were able to get the builder to waive $2,300 in fees that they had, amounting to a total of $4,000. And we were able to get that news 2 days before closing. And once we got that news, there's like, that's excellent news. Our family was celebrating.
Oh
But
shit! Don't tell me there's another turn to the
oh
story.
yeah,
Go
but
go for it.
so our family was happy. Like they're grateful for us to help them continue to keep that 4.75 interest rate secured and keeping their cash close to what they expected. But getting that information 2 days beforehand is one thing, but now all of a sudden we have to depend on the lending team to make sure that all the paperwork is in line and in order
Mm,
and correct. So although that was great news, they couldn't get the paperwork done in time to close on the day that was initially expected. So they pushed it back 4 days. And for our clients, they're like, you know what, we can make it work, but we've already taken off a few days from work. We have to close on that day. Like, you guys pushed it from Thursday to Monday. Like, we have to close on Monday because we have to be out of our lease by Wednesday. So it's really tight. So Sunday night, when we get a notification that unfortunately they can't close on Monday. And I'm like, whoa. So like our family is like checked out. They're like, yo, this is just too stressful.
sure.
And I was like, look, I am going to
I'm gonna
be
drive up
blowing
there real quick, and I'm gonna show you why I'm the knockout king.
I was like, look, I didn't even know what, like, man, I started blowing people's phones up on Monday morning. Like, look, I don't care what you guys gotta do. Like, this family needs to close today. Like, no other day is acceptable. And turns out there was like this one person that had to give the A-OK to close, that
Mhm.
was like in Colorado or something. And I contacted the loan processor. The loan processor contacted the underwriting company. The underwriting got a hold of that one person that is who knows where
Good thing
to
they
give the
weren't sick.
A-OK
Good thing they weren't out of work sick that day.
to give the A-OK that our family can close. And dude, on Monday, closing was scheduled at 4 p.m. At 2:30, we get the news that our family can close and they can go to the closing to the title company to close. They got a notification an hour and a half. They were able to close, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna see you guys there because I need to be there with you guys to make sure all the paperwork is
Sure,
right, that all the numbers
sure,
are correct." I don't
absolutely.
know how I got there in time, but
Listen, it's
you know
not
what I'm
done at
saying?
that point. It's not done until it's like done, right? Not even until
Yeah,
you get your stuff in there. Until we lock the door, like boom, all right, you're home, people. Like you're good. But dude, I mean,
I need the
so like
keys.
that's a story that is obviously like unique to the situation of what they had going on. But from me to you, everybody out there, like as many homes as I've sold, like it's common. It happens that way. And
Mhm.
obviously if you're a first time buyer, it could be stressful. Like when you said that our family saw the news about maybe not closing on Monday and they were like, dude, I'm checked out. I don't know what else to do. Like I felt that because I understand what those conversations are like. And so
Yeah.
obviously you got to have some experience on your side, and that's where we fall in line. But be prepared. And I hate to paint those pictures like that where it's like, maybe it sounds like we're scaring people. We're keeping it real with you because we don't want you to be the people that reach out to us that are like, I'm under contract, I'm running into these issues, they're charging me, and we can't do anything about that. Those are the toughest
Yeah.
conversations to have for me to talk to maybe a subscriber, somebody that watches our channel. Like, I can't do anything about that. That's so
Yeah.
tough, right? So teaching you these things up front, I think, is extremely, extremely important. I hope you guys made it this far. But anything else on that one before you wrap it up?
Oh man, our family, they've texted us, they've called us, and they told us time and time again, like, we couldn't have done it without you guys, and we thank you so much. And I think it's those messages that like, I can't really describe how it feels, to be able to be a part of, someone's journey of buying a home.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fulfilling, and it's something that you can't really describe. So I mean, if you're watching this, like, hire a team that really cares. You know what I'm saying? That's not just going to get you a great deal, but who's going to fight for you and get you to the closing table, because these things will happen. Like our
Let's
family,
take them down
yeah,
the avenue of like Aunt Susan that they started with. They were prepared to get a more expensive home, a smaller
mm,
home in a different
mm,
community, and it was going to cost them a lot more, right?
mm,
Instead, they obviously, like, the story is the story. There's a lot of ups and downs in there. You help them, not Aunt Susan, an area expert like yourself. You help them locate the same home with the features they were going to compromise on for less. And then all of a sudden you run into the gamut of all of the, what's going on with the lending department. And from me to you people, like, I love you to death, but you are a number to these people, right? If a
Mhm.
person in Colorado has to clear all of this stuff right here, like, imagine how many people from how many states are calling these people. Like, you are a number. You are a number. So, dude, I
Yeah,
mean, but it, like you said, it is fulfilling, right? It is
yeah.
fulfilling. Like, you solved some freaking problems for these people. So,
Oh yeah,
I
for
I
sure.
absolutely love it. I think we did a great job on this one. Great job.
Yeah. How do you feel the concept of on Susan like with family and friends? Because obviously we've got family and friends, and they know we're real estate agents. So like we are like the
We
I don't
are
know
Aunt
the on.
Susan. I'm Aunt Susan to my mother-in-law, right? But the difference is my mother-in-law knows that we have some systems and processes in place because I make her watch
Yeah,
our videos. I'm like, you're gonna watch everybody in my house. It's a barbecue at my house. Sit on the couch. We're gonna put on YouTube. We're gonna watch more FLA homes, right? So
that's
now you
right.
guys
Yeah.
know I'm not just Aunt Susan. I'm Aunt Susan with some strategy behind it.
That's right. Yeah. Any family and friends that are looking to hire me, I don't want you to hire me because I'm a family and friend. Like, I want you to hire me because I'm a dog, and they
That's right.
know more FLA homes. Like, we don't play about our people. You know what I'm saying? We don't play about our clients. Like, you guys decided to trust us to help you buy a home. Like, we don't take that for granted. Like, we're gonna fight for you. We're gonna do everything, and we're gonna be available to answer your calls, answer your texts, no matter the time. I mean, if I don't answer, it's just because I might be asleep, but because Chris is telling me you gotta get a few more hours of rest. But I
Listen,
mean,
we're only getting older, Chris. You're talking about gray hair. I don't have no damn hair, okay? But listen, you're heading in that direction. He's like, man, that gave me gray hair. Bro, you about to have no
right.
hair soon. You got to have no hair soon. That's good. That means we're helping some people out. No, I love it, man. Anything else before we hop off?
Oh man, reach out to us. We're here to help. So there's there's the phone number there. There's the email. Ask for Chris, and we're here to help you out. This family made that decision, and it saved them a ton of money, and we got them into the home. So
There you
hey,
go. If you guys have made it this far, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Catch you guys on the next one.